Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am Super Dave, or if you'd like, David Allen. I get that mixed up. Sorry. We are talking 150 classified review on heavy duty today in the classified line. So this is a 150th figure in the classified line. We've gotten all the ways up now from 00 Snake Eyes to 150, which is heavy duty. We've also done 21 classified retro figures, and we did 4 vintage classic 60th anniversary legacy figures. And I want to say hello to everybody in the chat today. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Yo Joe, Lenny Honda, Paul Morales, hello everybody, thank you. And so this is a tag team effort today, so you can watch my show and then you can go and watch Punk with Toys afterwards. So it's like a twofer, so it's a fun double episode if you'd like. If you don't know who Punk with Toys is, he's a really cool guy. He's been around for a long time. He's on Circle of Jerks. He's one of the best toy reviewers, in my opinion, toy tubers, in my opinion. So you can watch him after this if you guys would like to go and check him out. So let's get into a little bit of the history of heavy duty. So we got an odd figure. I would say probably about it was probably about 12 or something like that, around number 12. I can't remember exactly the number, but it was in the early teens. I know it was before the Target Baroness with the coil motorcycle, and that was this weird roadblock that everybody was like, well, what version of Roadblock is that? We've never seen that. And we had already got a Roadblock earlier with number 1 in the classified line and the running variant of that same Roadblock. So we technically got 2 Roadblocks earlier, and then they came out with this Roadblock, and everybody thought, oh, that's heavy duty. They should have just made that heavy duty. Why did they make that Roadblock? So for a long time, a lot of the classified collectors and people like myself just had this as their fill-in heavy duty figure. Hey, how's it going? Brandon, thank you for joining us this evening. Appreciate it. So this is a Roadblock that was like 11 or 12 or something like that. And I really like it. I think it's a fantastic figure. But in my eyes, it was an early version of heavy duty. So I just thought I'd show it off. It has that big laser gun and stuff like that, which all the earlier figures had a lot of laser weapons, and they were much more modern upgrades of the classified characters and stuff like that. But this one was kind of off to his own devices, off to his own side. He didn't really fit in with what classified was doing at the time. They were doing upgraded G.I. Joe figures with more modern weapons and technology, a more futuristic G.I. Joe, and then they made more elaborate versions of Cobras. But this Roadblock really stood out as its own thing, and so that's why I used it as a heavy duty in my collecting. I would be interested to see, if you guys are all long-time collectors, what you guys did with this Roadblock. If you included it as a heavy-duty stand-in until we got heavy-duty, or what did you just keep it as a Roadblock, or what did you do with it? Because it was a very common figure at Target. It was part of the Cobra Island exclusive wave of figures and vehicles from Target. Their first exclusive thing that they got, and he was one of those figures from there. but I'm curious to see what you guys did with him, if you guys included him as a heavy duty or something else. Yeah, all those roadblocks were a bit much that early on. I used that roadblock as my main roadblock. My head cannon is all over the place anyways. Ah, okay, Brandon, I understand. All right, so we're going to go into a little bit of heavy duty's history. Of course, we're going to go to Dan Klingsmith's series of books again, and this is volume number 6. Creating the History of G.I. Joe by Dan Klingsmith, Dan Klingsmith Jr. All right. And so we have Heavy Duty. There he is. He had that big like desk play set thing that he came with as a vintage figure. And I'll warn you now, I do not have that. I have the figure, but I don't have that desk play set that he came with, because I get my figures the way that I can, and sometimes they're not complete, and sometimes they're missing stuff. So they're just the way they are when I buy them. Sometimes I'll go back and try to find accessories, but in his case, I didn't think that big desk was worth it. All right, so alternate names: Rampart, Cinderblock, Bulwark, Brick Wall. Year released 1991. Now, I think Rampart did get a figure at some point in the Joe line. It might have been before this, or maybe it was after, or maybe it was the same year. I'm not sure. Designed by Kurt Groin. Now, after Ron Rudat, Mark Pennington did it for 3 years, and then Kurt Groin came on in 1989 towards the end, and he was a designer on the rest of the line, always up to 94, and always up till 2002, I believe. Kurt Groin was the designer on at Hasbro and worked on G.I. Joe, if I'm not mistaken. So he's a major designer for many years at Hasbro on this brand. Bobby World, the classified heavy duty with that loadout looks like a guy at the ballpark selling peanuts. Yeah, it's a weird setup. I don't know, but I'm not going to criticize, because they did some interesting things back then in the 90s for G.I. Joe. All right, so a little bit. Released in 1991, Kurt Groin, product designer, based this character on Lamont Morris, a designer within the Play School group. Kurt shared that Heavy Duty was a powerful character who acted alone as an artilleryman. Using a heads-up display, or HUD, Heavy Duty was able to battle Cobra forces attacking from the air, and had the numbers of planes brought down by him on his arm. When asked about the phrase "just try it" on his ammunition boxes, Kurt shared that there was not a specific reason he did it. So there you go. And so there's a couple of different designs over there, a couple of ideations, and the artwork here looks like it was done by it does not say who did the artwork on that, so I'm not sure. But it does give a little bit of a blueprint as far as that desk there. You can see a little bit of that blueprint in this, but it looks really cool. I don't know if that's a Dave Dorman piece of artwork. It doesn't really look like Dave Dorman's art to me. I could be wrong. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Hey, Paul Morales. Heavy Duty. That's the Joe latrine scrubber, right? Oh, no. No, Lone Dragon. That's mean. All right, so now we're going to go to his vintage package, and that is Collecting the Art of G.I. Joe, Volume 5, 1990 to 1992, by R. Carson Metaxas and 3D Joes. There you go. So here is his package, his original package design there. Let me move this over a little bit, get a better view of that. You can see he comes with a lot of equipment there. I do not have all that equipment. Warn you now, I do not have all that. So then we have his first appearance in G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero was 130 from the 80s G.I. Joe comic series by Larry Hama. It says Cobra invades the pit. And I believe Heavy Duty has to defend the pit in this issue and save the headquarters from Cobra. And so then Heavy Duty was a major character during the Deke era. And now that I forgot something from yesterday's Dial Tone episode. Dial Tone appeared in Arise, Serpentor Arise, episode 1. He was one of the Joes that was slacking off, and they had to get Sergeant Slaughter in there to kick some butt and get them back under trained up and stuff like that. So that's where Dial Tone appeared. He also appeared with Leatherneck in that episode, I believe, the first episode. But Heavy Duty appeared in the Deke animated series, Got to Get Tough series, and he was a major character in that. So then I have the vintage figure, but again, I do not have all that equipment. So I have the figure. He's a very sturdy figure, although he does have a broken crotch. He's got most of his paint apps intact. He's got the ball cap that says Joe on it. In the back, you can't really see that it says Joe, but it says Joe on the back. So yeah, and one interesting thing about the history of Heavy Duty is he is the younger brother of Roadblock. So that's why this figure here, I thought, okay, that really works. We can make him the younger brother of Roadblock, and they kind of fit together. And so he's got a couple of cool tattoos on his arm there. I don't know if you can see them very clearly there. There's a little bit of red there. So we'll see if he has that on the new one. But I like him. He looks really cool. I just didn't feel it was necessary to have all those accessories. So I'm just going to stick him over there. And then we have the classified figure, and that is 150, like I said. And that's a beautiful piece of artwork. He's yelling at whatever jet he's trying to shoot down at that point in the artwork. It looks really cool. And then we have the target artwork there, a little bit larger piece of artwork with the QR code and the designations. And now we're going to go into the designations. I thought they were brothers, but okay, if you think they're cousins, that's fine. I won't be able to unsee that now, LOL. Bobby. Oh, man, that's funny. I'm back. New York Knights is back. Very cool. Thanks. Thanks for joining us. Everybody's saying hello to everybody in the chat. So let's get these designations and we'll see what they have to say on here. So he's got that big bomb, which is ordnance. He's got the other ammunition, which is, I believe, heavy weapons. He's got the cannon, which I think is artillery. And then he has the anti-armor designation. So those are your designations for Heavy Duty. And then we have the Shooting the Galaxy photography artwork there with a couple of call outs on the package from the figure. And if you look very carefully in that package behind there, there's a couple of night creepers skulking around trying to get Heavy Duty before he takes out the Cobra forces. There, you can barely see them, but they're right there and right there. They're barely in the lights and the shadow there, but they look really cool. I'm surprised they use night creepers. I thought maybe they would use like a frag viper or something like that. That might be something that's coming up after this, but they didn't. Without all the hardware, wouldn't he be light duty? Lone Dragon, you're just funny tonight. You're just giving all the jokes. Lady Virgo, cool. Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Yo, Joe. After he ruins his back and knees, he's called modified duty. Brandon, you're funny. You guys are having a lot of cracks at poor heavy duty. So there's his loadout, and it's a deluxe figure. You can see that, and it just says heavy duty, doesn't give his name on there. So I don't know if he's cousins or brothers or what. I always thought he was his brother. Maybe he is the cousin. In the movie, I think he was his cousin. I can't remember. Somebody go look it up and find out if heavy duty is the brother or the cousin. I don't recall. I thought it was brothers, but I could be wrong. All right, so he has a lot of extra stuff here. He's got 2 different cannons, and he's got a bunch of ammunitions. He's got the Stars and Stripes back there on the package. We'll put that away. That down there. Let's see. Oops. Trying to get to that one. And the G.I. Joe Renegades, they are cousins. If they were brothers, they probably have the same last name. Yeah, I think you're right about that, Carlos Salinas. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us today. Lady Virgo, Polly, saying hello to everybody in the chat. Hi all, haven't opened mine yet, but looks great in the package. Yeah, Lego Star Wars Kid. Yeah, this is the first time we've he's been out for a year now, and over a year, and we're just getting into him. So this line, we started with 00 Snake Eyes, and so we're finally almost caught up. We're about a year behind now, so we're doing pretty good, I think. But you'll get to it eventually. Let's see. He became his cousin in the Renegade series. Ah, I see. Okay. He calls his wife Heavy Booty. Lone Dragon, that's a good one. I really like that one. Heavy Booty. That's funny. All right. So look at all this stuff. Holy cow. Did they give him a loadout on this? And no pun intended, by the way. Loadout. You guys are getting me in trouble. You're going to make me say the wrong things. All right. So I want to showcase this additional head real quick because I really like it. It has like a 80s vibe to it. It has like that sideburns and those those slits in the head where they shave the edges of it. It looks really like he came from the 90s, like he's from one of those bands or whatever, or rap groups from the 90s. So I really like this head a lot. And he's got a little bitty jewelry, some earrings on there as well, on the head, on both sides of that head. So I'm going to put that over there. And then I'm going to take out the figure. Excuse that noise. He was mentioned as his cousin in the Spy Troops movie. Okay. Thank you, Bobby World. In the comics, when Roadblock first saw Heavy Duty, he asked Stalker, "Who's this? My replacement." Ah, interesting. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that. That's why I like having you guys in the chat helping me out. Because it's hard to remember everything. It's difficult. All right. So right out of the package, I think he looks really nice. Right out of the package, I've got to say, he looks really cool. I love the fact that they gave him the ball cap, but on the back of it, it says Shred Head on there. So I like that because that's like he's a skater or a skateboarder or whatever. I like this green, this gold like bulls necklace because he's from Chicago area, and they gave him that gold necklace, that bull necklace, which I really like. He also has a cool tampo on his watch on that side there, the right hand. He's got a gold, a black watch with gold highlights on it. He's got a nice bandolier that has all kinds of detail in it. It's got like some green padding, it's got black, it's got gray grenades, it's got that little like I guess it's some sort of a digital tracker type thing on the top of the bandolier there that goes around with some more green padding on it. That looks really nice. Let's see. And in the Renegades, Roadblock's mom explains why he's called heavy duty, because he used to fill diapers. Oh my God. You guys are funny. New York Knights. Oh man. He's got another secondary belt on here with some gray grenades and a walkie-talkie, and it looks like a little bit of a sheath there that goes in that. So it might be a knife. He's got another watch on this side, but it's just all black. There's no highlights on it, or maybe it's like a bandolier or whatever. But he does have the khaki shirt that he had in the vintage one. The shading is a little bit more taupe with this and not khaki. So they changed it. They made that color subdued again, as they've always done. And if you look at the vintage one, the greens on the pants are way brighter on the vintage one than they are on the classified one. They always make them more subdued on there. I don't know if it's the paint or if it's the plastic, why that is, why they can't get that exact coloring on them. But it's a common thing with classified that they can't do that. He's a bigger figure. He's a much more heftier figure, I've got to say. I do think his face print is really nice, and it goes with that other head as well. I think this hat might come off. No, the hat does not come off. So you have to switch out the heads if you're going to do that. But I do think it's a very nice face print on him, and he's a nice bigger figure too. He also has a secondary knife sheath on his left ankle, and there's some brown and green deco in his boots that are nice contrast to the rest of the body. Kind of, he's got the that pattern, that camo triangle pattern there in the legs, similar to the vintage one, with these black knee pads as well. So there's a nice balance of color with it that includes all of the whole figure. Let's see. Shredhead refers to his classical guitar abilities. I was not aware he was a guitarist. Thank you, Carlos Salinas. I appreciate that. So there you go. Neon is not as popular now as it was in the 80s. You are correct, Carlos Salinas. You are right. They reused that buck for the Sergeant Slaughter that came with Mercer. Yep, I was going to get to that, but you beat me to it, New York Knights. Same buck that comes with the new Sergeant Slaughter 2-pack. It's more of a desert Sergeant Slaughter. So he's got the same, most of the same articulation points. He's got the butterflied shoulders. He's got the double pin elbows, the double pin knees. He's got the foot rocker. Let's see if he has the ankle. Yep. He's got the second ankle articulation. He does not have the secondary wrist articulation. He does have the thigh and the calf articulations, both. He's got the crotch and leg articulations. He's got the ab crunch and the normal head articulation. So he's got most of the articulation points, with the exception of the additional wrist articulation and the bendy wrist articulation. So he's pretty close to most of the other figures. But I do like him. He looks really nice. Like I said, he was a little bit outside my time collecting, so I was not a big heavy duty collector or fan back in the 90s when he came out. But I know a lot of people from the late 80s that collected into that era that they do like him. So there you go. I'm going to maybe swap out this head with the other guy and make my other Roadblock maybe a heavy duty as well. And then we have 2 versions of heavy duty, and then we have 2 or 3 versions of Roadblock that way, right? All right. So now we've got this big apparatus. I'm going to try to figure out how to put this whole thing together. Excuse the noise from the package. Let's see. I'm going to try not to break this as I get it out of the package. All right, so you guys might have to help me put this thing together in the chat. Let's see how this goes. So it's this big apparatus, and there's some like leather, a little bit of leather deco on the interiors for the shoulders, I'm guessing, and there's a little leather and a couple of red pieces of deco for lights and stuff like that for the top lasers. And there's a little bitty computer screen here with a bunch of deco and some tampos on there, and there's a little bitty word here. It says man portable heavy weapons system right there on the front. So I'm going to fiddle with this a little bit to see how this works. So I'm guessing it's a more of a backpack apparatus because there's a peg hook there, and then this must go around the front, and then these lasers turn that way. So then he has the lasers there, and he has the big lasers there. So then it creates this type of situation. So then I'm not sure what this thing is for. Maybe it goes on the bottom or something like that. We'll fiddle around with it. We'll see what it looks like, and we'll get everything on it, and we'll see if we get it right. And you guys can tell me if I have it wrong in the chat. All right. Let me fiddle around with it, and we'll see what we can do. I guess you have to do to turn this down like that, and then you put that there like that. Then you put this over his head like that there, and then this, I'm guessing, goes, you have to bend his legs a little bit like that. Let's see. There. And then you can do this, and then you can do this. Like that. Make sure that. All right, so because of that harness, it kind of is in the way a little bit, so it's a little crooked, but then this goes up like that, and his other harness is in the way on the top, on the bottom part like that, so it kind of goes like this, kind of like that. And we don't have everything on him yet, but we will get everything on him to show. Let's see, what do we got going on? Yo Joes, bros. Sean Jones, thanks for joining us. Gunpowder Nitro, what's good? Sean Jones, good to see you. Super Dave, hey Sean Jones, thank you very much. It's good to see you in the chat as well. We're covering heavy duty. Everybody's saying hi to everybody in the chat. That's what I like. You guys all cool, friendly towards one another. I like that. Let's see. Heavy duty and Captain Gridiron was the last group of figures I got way back then. Lego Star Wars Kid. Okay. So that was when you veered off and went into other more exciting avenues, Lego Star Wars Kid. All right, so let's see what else do we have. I'm trying to figure out what all this stuff is that comes with him, because he's got a lot of other stuff that goes with him. So then we got these two guns, these like Gatling guns. Oh, and then we have we've seen this before. This was with the I think it was Leatherneck. Who had this? Who was the last person that had? Oh no, this is the Saw Viper that had this. The bullet ammunition belt, right? That was Saw Viper that came with that. I believe. I could be mistaken. I don't know. Let's see. So. Excuse that noise again. So we have these two little Gatling guns here. There's a lot of nice detail in these. On both sides. All right, so then these, I think these go on the back because there's little pegs there, little circular pegs. So I'm going to put them here. I hope that's where they go. There. So they have a maneuverability, a flexibility that they can adjust and they can go different ways. It's like an anti-tank weapon system. This thing is. It's really quite elaborate, I must say. So both of them go up and down and move around and stuff like that. So you can do different things with them there on him. There. You love Captain Gridiron, Sean Jones? I hope we get him sometime. I do like him. He's a fun character. I can't seem to complete him. What, the vintage one? The vintage Captain Gridiron? All right. So then, what else do we have? Then we have a headset. Because obviously, with all these weapons, he would go deaf pretty quickly. So I'm guessing this headset's going to go over his head like that. See if I can get it on there. He can listen to some sick beats while he's shooting cobras down, right? All right, so it's on there. You can kind of get it there. You can see it there. So he's got his headset on. Now let's see, what else do we have? We have an extra set of hands. Let's see. We have a set of hands, and we have some blast effects and some ammunition. So I think some of the ammunition is probably some effects that came with Metalhead, and some of the blast effects as well. They just redecoed them for this figure. So let's see. First, we have a set of fists. So he can do some, when his weapon system is all used up, he can punch some cobras with his set of fists. I'm going to put those over here with his extra head. And then he has some blast effects, bitty blast effects for the back of his setup. These were with Metalhead as well. These two little blast effects, put them there. And then he has two little green missiles. So we could put the green missiles in the another part of the figure. They're kind of like a lime green. So it's funny that they did give him a little bit of that those hot colors from the 80s. I find that interesting that they did give him that. So then he has a little bitty kind of receiver type thing that he came with. That's over here. If I can get it out of the package. A little radio receiver thing that's a smaller one that he can use with his other accessories. So he's got two different headsets. So we're going to put that over there with the other head and the fists. And then he comes with two knives. Now, I think we've seen these knives before because they have the little bitty circles there, and they have they're gray and silver deco on both of those. They look really nice. I think they're a cool addition to this figure. So I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to try to put these knives on in the sheaths that come with him. He's got a sheath on his ankle there, on his left ankle. Then he's got another sheath on the left side in that secondary belt that he has. So I'm going to see if I can get that in there without too much trouble. Yes, I think yep, I got that in there. So you can see the knife there and the knife there for him. Let's see what else. What else is going on? Everybody's saying hello. Let's see. 610, Yo Joe Daddy, Super Dave, what's up, fellas? Dropping my HasLab return video tomorrow afternoon. Great information. Yeah, I look forward to watching that and see what happened with that. Watch out, he'll shoot neon alarm dildos. Lone Dragon, you're being naughty. All right, so then we have this, but I'm not entirely sure what this thing is. I'm guessing maybe it's something that goes in the front. Let's see. I'm going to fiddle around with it. I'm going to see where I can fit this because I think it might be something that goes over here, but I don't know. I don't know 100% because there's two little grabbers there, and the two grabbers I think might go in front like that. But then they twist. See, they twist like that. And then there's another little grabber there. And I think, let me see. This is tricky because it's very tight with the secondaries all in the way. So you can't really tighten this up. There's a little bitty, there's a little grabber on that thing that I just added and a little bitty bar there. You're supposed to snap them together, but it's hard to snap it together because this is too wide with strap that he's got there with his grenades and everything. It's kind of in the way, so I may have to fiddle around with this to get this to work properly. The bandolier that's on him is in the way, but it's pretty close. I like a little bit of that battle damage. There's like some battle damage deco on there that looks really nice as well. Heavy Duty and his Desk of Terror. That's correct. You got it. So my plan to pose him with Lifeline bent over in front of him is wrong somehow. Yes, Lone Dragon, that is very wrong. All right, so what else do we have here? We got some more stuff. There's a whole nother tray of stuff, of accessories. Look, we got a whole nother tray of accessories. Let's see what all this stuff is. We have 2 guns, 2 missile launchers. Holy smokes. Look at this. 2 of these big missile launchers. They have some thruster holes where you can plug in the fire effects, the blast effects, and there's a little bitty shoulder stuff there, so we can maybe put that on his shoulder. And there's 2 little knobs on either side where you can plug this into the side of it. And then it says, there's a tampo here, and it says M202 Quad Burst Invention Number 2 IND Minor. And it says that on the other side as well. See that? All right, so I'm going to try to add this to this because I believe there's 2 little knobs on the side here. I'm going to move his arms a little bit up so I can put these in these little knobs there. All right, so you see that little knob? Similar to the knobs for the top guns, he's got knobs here. And they went to town on this. No wonder they made this a deluxe. This thing is absolutely incredible. All the stuff that he comes with. So then I got one on there. Now I'm going to try to put the other one on the other side. Actually, I think I put it backwards. See if I can get that back out without breaking it. It was supposed to go this way. All right, there. I got that one on. And then I'll put this one on here. All right, so there. Whew, that is a task. So that's what it looks like with all that gear on him. You are not kidding me. This thing is incredible. His Desk of Terror. You are not fooling around with that one, 610 Yojo Daddy. Allah. The name changes. Hello, are you a new person in our chat today? Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have an opportunity. Please, Hasbro, give us Captain Grideye and Pathfinder. I'm sure we'll get them eventually, 610 Yojo Daddy. In D minor is another classical music reference. Oh, okay. All right, so let's see. There's a slot. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this in there. See that slot on that side? There's also a slot on that side. That's where this goes in. It's supposed to shoot through there, and that's where the ammunition's supposed to go. And it works. It goes in there. Unlike the last one I was trying to get, I think it was the Saw Viper. We couldn't get that in his. So it goes in there, but where does it connect to? Is there another place that it connects? I wonder if there's any more slots. Oh, there is. There's a little slot on the top of those guns that I hooked up earlier, and it goes right in there. Wow, that's what an setup that is. I'm gonna see if I can get that in there. Whew. This is going to really look cool when everything's on this thing. It's like it came with a vehicle. It's like this is a figure-in vehicle almost, because this is like loaded out. Wow. I did not know that you could do something like that. But look, there's all the ammunition, because the back there has like the ammunition bucket. Oh, wow. That's really cool. I like that a lot. It looks really nice like that. This is definitely a bigger apparatus than the Metalhead apparatus. They were maybe practicing. So I'm going to try and put some of these effects in this, in the back here, because I think maybe, I don't know. I guess the blast effects are for the front. So if you want one of the missiles to be shooting out, it's just like Metalhead, where you stick the blast effect in there and then you put the missile on it. So it looks like the missile is firing there, kind of like that. And then I'm going to do that with the other one as well. So these blast effects go in the front, not the back. I thought they went in the back. Well, pun intended, blast effects in the back, you know what I mean? But it's okay. You can't smell it here anyways. If you smell what I'm cooking. There, so we have two missiles firing now on there. Doot, doot. All right. Then there's a bunch of other blast effects and a bunch of other missiles. I'm going to try to put a bunch of the missiles in here without too much difficulty. Let's see. We'll see how that works out. The missiles in Metalhead don't stay in very well. So I wasn't happy about that. But these missiles might. Yeah, they look like they are more snug. We're not going to use all the blast effects because I don't think we need them all. So we'll just do one of each on one side and the other side there. And then let's see. This is one of those figures. I wish we had the weapons crate things for the Joes, because he's got a lot of extra stuff, heads and hands and radios and everything like that. And I wish we had more with him. Now there's one more thing I want to show you after I put these missiles in here. He probably could hold some of these accessories as single weapons as well, because they have handles on them. So there, I got all the missiles in there. See all the missiles in there? And then I got the launching missiles there. There's one more item I want to figure out if maybe I should switch his radio, because this one has a heads-up display. So if you look at this one here, there's a little bitty red tampo on there with a heads-up computer display on it. So I may take his big ones off, because I had a hard time getting them on there anyway. I'm going to take that one off. I'm going to put the one with the heads-up display, because I think the one with the heads-up display looks better with this setup. And you can set it inside the hat, so it kind of looks better with this. I kind of like the heads-up display one better. What do you think? You think that looks cool? Hey, K-Mac, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Hello to you. Everybody's saying hello. All right, so let's see. So then I don't know where his arms are supposed to go now. Now that he's got all this stuff on there, where do you put the hands? Right. So that's a little odd. There's no handles near where this is. Unless the handles are supposed to be the other way. No, I put them the right way, because the words are up. They're facing up. So the handle on here, they have a handle on there. So if you turn it the other way, you might be able to use a handle, and then you could maneuver it. It would be upside down. What do you guys think? Do you think these go the opposite way so we can hold on to these? Or do you think I have it the right way with the words facing up? I'm not sure. If you want, I'll switch it to the other way, and I'll put it so we can hold on to that. Because he doesn't have anything to hold on to. He just his arms are just kind of flailing around there. I don't know. I think maybe I might do that. I might fiddle with that and redo that. Let me see. Let me see if I can take these off. Yep. They come off pretty easily. All right. So I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to put, because that also gives a little bit of a shoulder holder for his back of his arm as well. So I'm going to do it like that, and then I'm going to move his arm like this. I'm going to make it look kind of like a video game type thing. Like that. I'm going to see if I can get that to work. There. That. So then I'm going to put this one on this side. Let's see. I'm going to move this arm over to this side. Oops, I think I lost one of my missiles. The missile back there. I'll try to get this hand back there as well. And I'm going to try to get it to go on this handle. It's a little tricky. Oops. I'm losing missiles left and right. All right. So let's put the missiles back. All right. Well, and then we'll go look at this with it all put together like that and see if that makes more sense. All right. So now I have the handles. Except they keep coming off. So I don't know if I made the right decision on that. All right, so there you go. So I have the handles on there now. He's holding them. Sean Jones, you never opened him either. A lot of people have not opened him. You're the second person in the chat that told me they didn't open him. Wasn't interested in him that much. Okay. Well, yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't in my era either. He was a Deke character, and I kind of steered away from Deke a little bit. But because that's what I said I was going to do in this series, I was going to open all these figures, and we're going to do this from 00 Snake Eyes on through all the ways. I made a promise, and I'm keeping my promise, and we're going to open every figure that we can, all in order, all the ways through until this series is done. And this is the 150th figure that we've gotten from the classified line of the main line from 00 Snake Eyes up to 150, and then 21 vintage package and 4 legacy 60th anniversary. So there you go. Everything that I can fit on him is on him. He does have some extra stuff. He's got an extra head. He's got a bunch of effects. He's got some extra hands, and he's got an extra radio. I'm thinking about switching his other head and maybe his radio to the other figure, my other Roadblock, and making him really cool looking. He was on off the last in my OG days. He was towards the end of your OG days. Okay, you are killing it, Super. Thank you very much, Sean Jones. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sean Jones. You guys keep me excited about this stuff and keep me interested and going with this. And the fact that you guys are here and you're helping me out really means a lot to me. It really does. Because I don't have anybody here in my area that I could just talk to about this stuff. I was in Brooklyn 2 weeks ago, and the Target downtown on Flatbush Ave had heavy duty on clearance for $17. Wow, New York Knights, you should have got him. We appreciate you letting us ramble in the chat. Hey, no problem. You guys, that's why you're here. That's why I enjoy this and having you part of the experience. You know, without that, it would be kind of boring. I've said it before. People just don't want to just hear me talk. It's better to have this relationship, this camaraderie that we have going on with everybody in the chat. It's a friendship, it's a camaraderie, it's a brotherhood. That's why this shirt says Yo Joes, G.I. Joe Bros, Yo Joes. So what do you guys think about this? Do you think they nailed this, or do you think they went too much, too excessive with this figure? Because we're going to be getting some other heavy hitters. We'll probably get Fast Draw. We'll probably get Deep Six. There's a bunch of other characters that come with a lot of this gear. Are we going to get all those characters? Are the Hasbro team going to go all out like they did with this one and Metalhead? Because they really did a good job. Yo, Keegan Collins, thank you for joining us again. Hello. Everybody's saying hi, Keegan. It's a good figure. I think they did a good job. It's not a character that I'm fond of per se. I know he's a fairly popular they wouldn't have put him in the modern era. They wouldn't have put him in the movie. They wouldn't have put him in Renegades. They wouldn't have made a classified figure this soon if he wasn't popular. So there is definitely a niche for this character. It's not my niche or my character, but I know there are people that do like him. So overall, I think he looks really good. I'm going to see if I can get him to stand on a stand. That's going to be tricky with this thing, this apparatus. And I'm going to have to fool around with it a little bit because it's got that secondary bandolier that's in the way, and it doesn't click in very well. So I'm going to have to fool around with it a little bit. We'll see. But let's see if he can stand on his own with this apparatus, this heavy duty apparatus. Let's see. Uh, Stay in there. Some of these boots do not like to stay on the stands. All right, I lost a bunch of the missiles. Now I got to put them all back in there. I'm going to maneuver his legs around a little bit like that, so he will look correct. All right, so there we go. We got him on a stand. Let's see how well he stands up. There you go. He stands. He can stand up. He looks really good. I think he looks really good. I like a lot of the little extra detail, like the hat. They gave him the threading in the hat. They gave him the extra part around the hat where it has the cutout. They gave him all those blast effects and stuff where the bullets have hit that shield that's in front of that apparatus. There's a lot of like little deco stuff on this as well. I'm wondering, I may switch this around because I found out these little things with the little switches on top here. If you look at them, maybe that's the thing that he's supposed to hold. Those little things there, there's two of them. I'm going to switch this around in a little while after the video and put these back the way that they were before. Because I think that's what these are for. That's the handles that he's supposed to hold. And I have him holding the wrong thing. So that's the fun thing about playing with these things. You see different things as you're going, and you learn different things as you're going as well. There's a lot of cool collar deco in there as well on different parts. Like the hat has that shred heads has a nice blue and red deco, and there's a little bit of dark green with the lip on it and the little snap-on parts, and there's some his boot straps have different deco colors as well that are tied. His boot ties, usually they don't give that on these figures, so I'm surprised they gave it on this one. Most of the feet are just black and they don't have the ties decoed, so that's a new element that they added. And the triangles on him are really cool too. There's a lot of little dots on those triangles, so it's like they printed those on there, a tampo print on all around his legs and stuff like that look really nice. I like the goatee, and he's got little pink lips too that look really good as well. I think overall this is a pretty standout figure. They added a lot to it, and it needed to be a deluxe. Obviously, we're going to be getting a lot of deluxe figures probably in the future because there's a lot of characters that come with a lot of gear. Like I said, Deep Six comes with a lot of gear. Fast Draw comes with a lot of gear. He was an 87 character. And there's a lot of the modern stuff that comes with a lot of gear as well. I would say there's a few more 90s characters that also came with a lot of gear. But do you guys like these deluxe figures? Do you want the figures to come with a lot of gear? Do you want it to be more pared down as just a normal figure with guns and ammunition and that type of stuff? Getting a lot of these deluxe figures makes it harder because they're more expensive as well. So you're looking at like a $36 to $39 figure instead of a $30 figure before with deluxe figures. So they've gone up in the pricing, especially on Hasbro Pulse. That's why I suggest everybody get the premium membership to save on that shipping. But I like him. I think they did a really good job with him. He's going to be a nice addition to my lineup of figures. I'm going to rearrange some of the stuff on there and change it back to the other way. And then I'm going to have him holding these things. So I'll fiddle with them after the video is over. But I think they did a good job with it. What do you guys think? I'm curious to see if anybody here has them. They've opened them up and they've played with it. 64 Canada priced. Wow. You're kidding me, Sean Jones. That is expensive. Yikes. I think you should move to the United States, Sean Jones, because you obviously are having a harder time getting this stuff over there in Canada. That's like almost three figures, three $27 or three $25 figures. That's expensive when you think of the shipping and or tax and everything on top of that. I am looking forward to that deluxe Hooded Cobra Commander you mentioned. Yeah, Keegan, that's going to be interesting one. I'm curious what they're going to give that. It's going to be an extra deluxe. That was coined in the discussion on that. So this is a deluxe, but the Cobra Commander is going to be an extra deluxe. So will he come with a throne? Will he come with a podium? What will he come with? That's going to be a mystery. We're going to be waiting for. I hope we get a lot of this information that I talked about yesterday in the episode, but before the end of Toy Fair. I hope we get a lot of this stuff by February 1st or the middle of February for the Toy Fair. So I'm hoping we get it all revealed by then. You can get what? Sean Jones. Heavy Duty is a lot of fun. Yeah, he is. He looks really cool. I wasn't sure about him, 610 Yojo Daddy, until I got to it. You know, that's the thing about these episodes, because every figure is a new reveal for me. Yeah, I've watched other people open stuff and I've seen reveals and things that people have talked about, but for me, the experience is fresh, original, and you guys get the true review of the figure when I open it. And so yes, it's a really cool figure. I like it. I think it's a good figure. Like I said, the character is not my cup of tea, but I know there are people that do like it. Just pay more. I have Pulse Premium. Oh, okay. Well, that's good at least. I think the official listing for Hooded Coco has him as Deluxe Plus. There you go. So you find out some more information about our Lara Croft 610 Yojo Daddy. Hooded Coco has the Deluxe Plus. So now we may end up with Deluxe Plus figures. Interesting. So if you guys didn't have a chance, anybody in this episode didn't have a chance, go back to yesterday's dial tone video. I revealed a whole bunch of classified leaks for 2026 that are confirmed, that are coming next year. I don't know when they're coming or how they're coming, but they're all pre-ordered through vendors and the fan channel distribution channels. And so they all were able to order all that stuff for next year. or this year now, 2026. A lot of it. And there's a lot of cool stuff in there. There's a guy that I'm looking forward to because I think it's going to be absolutely nuts. And it's called the Raptor Master with a Raptor dinosaur. Holy cow. Pet and figure 2-pack. What is that? Lara Croft Tomb Raider? What in the world is Hasbro doing? I don't know. Finally, Hooded Cobra Commander, as like 610 said, Deluxe Plus, Destro and the Despoiler, a 2 for vehicle set of a stealth Trouble Bubble with a green ferret, Joe Ferret. Man, there's all kinds of other stuff. Airtight, Toxo Zombies. What else? I'm trying to think of everything that was in that video, but lots of stuff. Cool stuff. Yeah, Dino Death. Oh my God, I can't wait for that. That is going to be awesome. Nothing yet, Croft. I do have feelers out. Thank you, 610 Yojo Daddy. Raptor Master, maybe Croc Master's brother. Maybe. But yeah, if we're going to do Raptor Master with a Raptor, then I can't imagine that we're not going to get the Dino Hunters G.I. Joe HasLab set with an awesome Jurassic Park dino with Lowlight and Ambush as a HasLab with cages and nets and all kinds of awesome stuff. Man, would that be a HasLab with a really cool Jeep and stuff like that. G.I. Joe Jeep. Woo, boy. I would want that. Give me that all day long. I love that sort of stuff. I know other people don't, but I do. That green ferret will be so cool. Yeah, I think so too. So that's going to get us 3 ferrets, 3 Trouble Bubbles, 3 Ram motorcycles. So maybe that's their limit on those things. 3 uses and then we're done. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But who else? What else did I say? You guys remember? Destro. Oh, Armada, another Iron Grenadier Armada. Destro's son's wife from Devil's Due, who is an Iron Grenadier female. Destro and the Despoiler, around a $90 price point for Destro and the Despoiler, because that vehicle's going to obviously be very big with Destro, Iron Grenadier Destro. So it's a high price point. That Cobra Commander is also a high price point. $70 plus, maybe between $70 and $75 for that Deluxe Plus Cobra Commander. So that's why we're thinking a throne or a podium for where they did the San Diego Comic-Con Cobra Commander with the podium. Maybe, I'm not sure. What else? I'm ready for Don Moreno. Oh yeah, Don Moreno. Very first G.I. Joe branded Don Moreno action figure, Snake Eyes, female Snake Eyes. First time we've ever gotten her in the G.I. Joe brand, and we are getting her this year as a new Snake Eyes figure. Looking forward to that. That's going to be a major popular figure. It's going to be very highly sought after by fans. What else? We're going to get a lot of render reveals coming up in G.I. Joe Day and Toy Fair. We're also going to get a lot of figures in hand reveals of like the Zap, Crazy Legs, and female Crimson Guard. We'll be showing those off. We'll probably get the Hydra Viper reveal, Iceberg reveal, Zanya and the Swamp Skier reveal, Zartan as Ninja Force Zartan as a Target only spring geek out, I believe, because I think Ninja Force is the Target exclusive line this year. Who else? Taurus and Red Dog render reveals. I'm trying to remember everything from yesterday. I have any other Laser Viper fans in here. He was a childhood favorite of mine with over-the-shoulder laser. The fact that they did this type of apparatus and apparatus for Metalhead, they would probably make the Laser Viper a deluxe, probably with that type of apparatus. I'm almost 100% sure on that. So that's very good that you said that, Keegan, because that's a standout figure that could be a deluxe figure for Cobra. Did you just say they have a female Crimson Guard? Yeah, you didn't order the female Crimson Guard, Terrence Childs. She's part of the ones that we pre-ordered in November for retro vintage carded figures. The next wave is the Crimson Female Guard, Crazy Legs in his vintage deco, and Zap in his vintage deco as vintage package figures. And they'll probably show those figures off for G.I. Joe Day, most likely. We've gotten the renders for the figures, and we've gotten the pre-order, but we get the figure reveals for them yet. So they'll probably show those off sometime. Maybe they showed them off in Brazil. I can't remember. CCXP Brazil 610 Yojo Daddy. Do you remember if they showed those off there? I can't remember. So that is a lot. Mostly everything that I'm aware of. That I said in the last video. I can't remember everything that I said. Oh, the G.I. Joe, the good guy, and the G.I. Joe Cobra are both going to be coming out as well shortly. And they're both brand new characters, 100% new, everything new. Oh, and they're doing Rugged Duke from Skybound. Rugged Duke is what the sub name of that figure is. So we're finally going to start getting some Skybound stuff that we've never gotten. So maybe we'll get Good Baroness. Maybe we'll get I think her name, what was the blonde girl with the red and black outfit? It's not Vipra, because that was the other Python Patrol was Vipra. I can't remember what that girl in the Skybound G.I. Joe series, what her name was. So maybe we'll get her. And maybe we'll get a larger Mercer, a bigger Mercer. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll get some Dreadnoks with missing arms, or maybe some bloody stumps and things like that. Or maybe we'll get a Cobra Commander that's battle damaged Cobra Commander. You know, there's a lot of really cool stuff. Sergeant Slaughter, no, not Sergeant Slaughter, but maybe Zartan. This is a spoiler if you guys haven't read the Skybound comics. Issue 18, Hawk is Zartan at the end of it. Sorry, I'm letting you guys know it's a spoiler. Maybe we'll do a 3-pack with that Zartan to Hawk 3-pack that we got in the modern Tiger Force Valor vs. Venom era. We can get a Hawk, a changing one, and then a Zartan 3-pack, possibly. Chameleon, that's who it is. Thank you, Will R. Thanks for joining us again today. Chameleon, that's it. So maybe we'll get Chameleon. So we're finally going to start getting Skybound figures with Rugged Duke. He's going to have a beard. He's going to be all old. Maybe his shirt will be hanging out, and it'll be all like a little bit shell-shocked a little bit. The new Cobra is the Galley Viper, Cobra Commander's personal chef. No, I don't think so, New York Knights, but that's a good one, though. I like it because I was a chef for many, many years in my early years. I believe both that Con and New York Con community is from Energon. Yep. Yeah, that's cool. I think we'll get a lot of this stuff. They didn't give us any hints as to Cesspool. They didn't give us any hints as far as Globulus. So these could be PulseCon exclusives. So all the stuff that I'm revealing to you guys from yesterday and today are all things that are through Fan Channel and Fan Channel exclusive, which is Cobra Commander Deluxe. Extra Deluxe Cobra Commander is a Fan Channel exclusive, but everything else is Fan Channel. So that means it's going to be Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, GameStop, Amazon, and stuff like that. So that's where all that's part. That's why the extra stores were able to order a lot of that stuff, and they got all those names and reveals, and that's how I was able to reveal this stuff to you. There may be other stuff coming out. We didn't hear anything on the water moccasin. We didn't hear anything on the shark. We didn't hear we know that they're going to do a reveal of Deep Six, probably in person, to show what he looks like. So we are going to get a Deep Six reveal, maybe a render or something like that for him. But we didn't get anything else as far as Chebang and who comes with Chebang. That's another Target exclusive that'll probably be for the summer Geek Out, because they do 3 Target Geek Outs. And if they're doing Ninja Force all year round, so I'm guessing the spring is going to be Zartan, the summer will be Chebang and whoever else comes with him, and then there'll be one for the fall as well. So we're going to probably get several Ninja Force stuff this year, most likely based on the pattern of fall Geek Outs at Target. What else? I'm trying to think of what else. That's all that I'm aware of, but that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff that we're possibly getting. And some more troop builders. Oh, Dusty and Sandstorm as a figure and pet, along with a Raptor Master and the Raptor as a figure and pet. So those are 2 figure and pet sets that we probably would be getting this year as well. I'm trying to think of, there's a couple of troop builders that was revealed by Destro's my spirit animal. He said there was going to be a desert troop builder along with the Arctic troop builder. Oh yes, Legacy. I forgot. There's 2 Legacy. There's going to be a Legacy infantry and a Legacy Arctic trooper for GI Joe, and we're playing around with the Arctic rescue trooper, and we're thinking maybe he would come with a Great Bernard dog with that big barrel on its neck, because they do all these animals and stuff like that. Do you think Classified would make a Great Bernard and have with the bucket to go with that Legacy figure? So those are 2 Legacy figures, a Arctic rescue trooper and an infantry trooper for Legacy. I did not hear anything about the EMS Legacy for this year, so I don't know if that's still coming or not. I'm trying to think of other stuff that's been rumored that we have not seen or heard of. There's nothing on the HasLab. We haven't heard anything about that. We'll probably get an Iceberg render, and maybe they'll repurpose that rescue infantry person with Iceberg's deco in body and sculpt, possibly, and not using the Snow Job one again, because we got the reuse of that with the Snow Serpents and with the Firefighter, that body sculpt already 2 or 3 times. I heard about 2 Ninja Force 2-packs, one with Chebang and Jojo, and the other one with Snake Eyes and Scarlet. Well, I heard Dojo was not in that 2-pack with Chebang. I heard it is not Dojo, it's somebody else. Maybe 610 Yojo Daddy made some light on that, or you can confirm what I'm saying, because you keep your ears to the community as well, don't you? Close to that community, 610 Yojo Daddy. I believe Chebang is gonna either come with Scarlet or somebody else, but I positive it's not going to be Dojo, because everybody's going to want Chebang, but they may not want another Scarlet. Everybody's going to want Dojo, but they may not want another Snake Eyes. So that means we would get 2 Snake Eyes next year if we get the Don Moreno Snake Eyes. So you got to look at how Hasbro would play this. Keegan, Collins, they're going to force you to buy that 2-pack. Would you get a Scarlet and Snake Eyes 2-pack, or would you get a Dojo and Chebang 2-pack? Which one of those would you get more readily? Or if you stuck Scarlet with Chebang, you're stuck with the Scarlet, and if you put Dojo with Snake Eyes, you're stuck with another Snake Eyes. So I think that's more likely how they're going to play that. I could be wrong, but I know for a fact that Dojo is not coming with Chebang. So we'll just have to wait and see. So if that other 2-pack is the 3rd Target exclusive for Fall Geek Out, then it may be the other characters. but we'll have to wait and see. So maybe during G.I. Joe Day, maybe we'll get some more name-only reveals. Maybe during Toy Fair, they'll give us some name-only reveals. So we have a couple events coming up within the next month. And hopefully a lot of these things that we're talking about, Destra's my spirit animal and myself and Full Force, all the stuff we're talking about, maybe a lot of that will be revealed over those events. We'll wait and see. You get both of them? Yeah, I'll be getting both of them too, but not everybody wants both of those, I'm pretty sure. No, it is not coming with JoJo confirmed. There you go. 610 Yojo Daddy. I knew it. So I believe it's going to be, if they're going to do it, it'll be with either Scarlet or Snake Eyes. And I don't know if they would put Snake Eyes and Chabang close to where Don Moreno is going to come out, but I'm figuring that Don Moreno is going to be in a 5-figure wave. And so I don't know when the next 5-figure wave is going to be revealed. Hoping that it gets revealed sometime around G.I. Joe Day or Toy Fair. So then we'll have an idea what the 5 figures that are in that wave are. I'm guessing the Iceberg is going to be one of those figures. Just by the fact that he's already been name only revealed. I'm guessing that the Hydra Viper may be in there as well. And maybe Don Moreno will be in that wave. And then maybe we'll get a deco of somebody down the road. A redeco, maybe that new Cobra, maybe that new Joe. Who knows? But if you pay attention to a lot of the interviews, the Pulse streams, a lot of that type of stuff, and other people that are very close to this brand that keeps up with the renders and keeps up with the name onlys and all this stuff, you can kind of detective this stuff out and figure out the patterns and figure out how this all works. And that's where I'm getting a lot of this information for and figuring out a little bit. I want to say up front, I don't know 100% for a fact that all this is accurate. I'm going by what I know and the information I have. So I'm going to put that disclosure there for you guys. If it all turns out to be correct, you can go back and watch this and say David was correct. But things have changed. There were line plans changed last year with 3 of the waves, because the Major Blood, the Monkey Wrench, the Snake Eyes, and the Armored Cobra Commander, originally that was supposed to have Sci-Fi in that wave, but then Major Blood was put into it. Next wave, that having Sci-Fi in that wave, there was a rumor that Flash was going to be in that wave, and Night Viper was going to be in that wave. But Night Viper was bumped, and Flash wasn't in that wave at all. We ended up with Grim Viper, we ended up with Mainframe, and we ended up with Wetsuit in that wave. So we ended up with a wave that had 3 Cobras and 1 Joe with Snake Eyes. Then we had another wave with 3 Joes and a Cobra with Grim Viper. And then the next figure wave, 5-figure wave, that was the fall for the winter release, which we should be getting sometime at the end of this month, early February, I'm guessing. That was 5 figures, 2 redecos with Mallrats Stage 2. Let's see, Night Viper, Hit and Run, Lifeline, Big Lob. Nope, only 1 redeco with the Mallrats. I guess you can say, I guess a lot of that has a little bit of redeco. Like Hit and Run's got a lot of reuse. I'm guessing Big Lob's got a little reuse. Lifeline's got a little reuse. So a lot of these figures have a little reuse in them. But it's a 5-figure wave. Thank you, 610 Yojo Daddy. Appreciate it. See you later. So that was the 5-figure wave that was released. We should be getting that soon. And then in November, we got the 3 retro figures that were pre-ordered that should probably come, I would guess, towards the end of February, early March. And so we've ordered those 8 figures. And then we pre-ordered the Arctic Assault Hiss with the Arctic Hiss driver. So all that's been pre-ordered already. Then we got the 3-pack of the Joe and Cobra 3-pack. We have not been able to pre-order that. I'm guessing we're going to be able to pre-order that very shortly, sometime in February as well, once we start getting G.I. Joe Day and Toy Fair. So that's everything. I think we're going to call this one quits. So we got something weird coming up, and this is the very first, I would say, playset. G.I. Joe classified playset. It's coming up next. So it's number 151, and it's a Cobra. So this is a Joe video. So we want to say, before that, first I want to mention my convention, the Sunflow Joe Show in Central Florida in April, on the 19th of April. Mark Pennington is going to be our primary guest. We have a bunch of other guests as well, as Adam Riches and a toy company that's going to be there, a bunch of other folks. After Action Report, there's going to be a Joe Fest booth there. We've got a couple other artists. Jason Mark Sobel is going to be there. We're looking at trying to get a couple more Hasbro, vintage Hasbro design people as well to the show to go with Mark Pennington. We'll see how that goes. So it's at the Center in Deltona on April 19th. So I hope you guys can all join me for that. And if you live in the South Georgia, South Alabama, and Florida area, we would love to have you. It's a really beautiful event center that we're going to be at. And I would love to have a nice community event for all you guys if you're able to make it, everybody. Thank you again. And since this is a really big Joe video, we're going to go with Yo Joe. Thanks a lot, guys. Everybody in the chat, and thanks everybody on the replay crew. We'll see you guys next time. Share these videos. That's the number one thing you can do to help this channel grow. Take care.